Hey, it's Friday. It is your girl, Nikita Jervy of Kita's Peace, and I am back with another effing Friday. Today's message topic, if you didn't guess, is in honor of the upcoming holiday. It is Father Friday. It's Father Friday, so I will be talking about father, being a father and fatherhood and stuff like that. So a father is defined as a male whose sperm unites with an egg, producing an embryo. A male whose impregnation of a female results in the birth of a child. A man who adopts a child. And my favorite, a man who raises a child. Again, a father is defined as a male whose sperm unites with an egg, producing an embryo. A male whose impregnation of a female results in the birth of a child. A man who adopts a child. And my favorite, a man who raises a child. So for those of you that don't know, the beginning of this year, I released my first book. I wrote a book surrounding this topic called Daddy Issues. Here it is right here. See that? And it addresses the issues associated with abandonment from a natural and spiritual standpoint and the steps necessary to forgive and get your peace back, because ultimately when you have your heart broken by anyone, especially by, your parents or a missing parent, if you will, that the fact that they're missing, there's a piece of you missing, because if we are half of our mother and half of our father create our one DNA, and that one parent is missing, there's a piece of us that's like, what the piss is going on? You know what I'm saying? So I ultimately walked through my journey of forgiveness, my journey of, self-evaluation and addressing my issues, and how you could do the same ultimately. So I'll just read the chapters so you can kind of get if you don't already have it, I encourage you to get it. So obviously you have the introduction, then you have Statistically Speaking, which goes over the statistics. They are really crazy. The statistics of, number one, how many kids in the United States are living in fatherless homes, and then also the statistics of what happens to these fatherless children, like the statistics of teen pregnancies and suicide and, the kids in jail and so on and so forth. How many of those are fatherless? So that's what Statistically Speaking kind of goes through. Then attitude adjustment. Yeah. So this kind of is talking to parents, talking to, those parents, you separated parents, if you will, and adjusting your attitude, because ultimately, when you're in a single family home, whether you're the mother or the father, your viewpoint of the other parent or the missing parent is almost always negative, and that can be displayed to your children, which is not a good thing, so that is what attitude adjustment discusses. And then changing children discusses, the dynamic between a father and a daughter, a father and a son, and then ultimately a father and adult children, and how we as adult children are to respect and honor our parents regardless of their activity in our lives. Someone say amen. Come on. Then we have demonstrating diligence. Now this one is a good one. I surveyed several fathers that I deemed that were, good fathers. They're active in their child's life, and asked them a few questions like, what does it mean to be a father? Was your father active in your life? And, what is it like? I go through what it means to be a diligent father. So that chapter is great. Then exposing my experiences, that goes through my experiences with daddy issues and overcoming them and how they came to be and all of that good stuff. So that's exposing my experience. Longing for love, for anyone that has ever dealt with daddy issues or any kind of issues of where the source is abandonment or unforgiveness, that ultimately, the root of it is is a lack of love or a longing for love. You want to be loved. You want to be shown love by your parents. And so when you're longing for love from someone that's not there, you ultimately seek refuge in other places and other people, and that's not always a good thing. So that's what longing for love is about. And then facing fear and forgiveness. So, you know, when having to address issues, it's scary. It's really scary. And so I talk about basically how to face those fears. First of all, what is fear? Like, what is it? And why does it take hold of us? Why does it keep us held down and captive? And then ultimately forgiveness, what forgiveness is, why God asks or tells us to forgive, and what it means for us. You know what I'm saying? That it's for us. It's not for the other person. That ultimately forgiveness is for us, and it allows us to move forward in freedom. So that's what facing fear and forgiveness is all about. And then deliberate deliverance is just that. You are deliberately choosing to be delivered from your daddy issues, and I give you steps, practical steps on how to do just that. And so, like I said, Daddy Issues is a great book. If you want it, it's available. I'll give all the information at the end. But anyway, as I prepare for Father's Day, as I always, like every year, you know, Father's Day comes every year. As I prepare for it, it's always really interesting. I always, you know, honor my husband for being my baby daddy until my kids are old enough and got enough money to do it for themselves, because he ain't my daddy. Somebody say amen. He's not my dad. So, you know, I'm just basically being the example for my daughters on how to honor their father on Father's Day. So, he actually got his gift today. It's a bit early, but I couldn't hide it. I'm out of town right now. I'm in Virginia. I have a date day with my mom tomorrow. We're going on a Segway tour in DC. Anyway, so he got his gift just a few hours ago. It's a grill. He's been wanting one for a while, so yay. Anywho, and yo, why my kids run up to him like they bought it? But I guess it is from them. So anywho, but like I said, Father's Day is always interesting for me because, you know, I always try to figure out, okay, what am I gonna do for my dad? You know, like what am I gonna get him? You know, and it's crazy because it's like, I know that I don't know him as well as I should, you know, obviously because of the distance growing up. And, you know, even now we're not as close as we could be or should be, I guess, I don't know. But, you know, I only see glimpses of him. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I see him, he's always great. He loves on me and stuff like that. And I get, you know, an idea of who he is as a person, you know, but as an adult, you kind of want to honor your parents in who they are right now, not necessarily as who you know them to be as children. You know what I'm saying? And that part of him, I don't know. So to honor him on Father's Day is always challenging for me, number one, because, you know, I know he's into tools and, you know, he has like a really nice swag or whatever, so I'll get him like an outfit or, you know, some tools or something like that. But that stuff gets old, you know what I'm saying? So trying to be creative and thoughtful. That's what I'm always into, thoughtful gifts, something that I know the person wants. And it's hard to get something for a person that they want if you don't know, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, I'm very thoughtful and methodical when I pick cards. And I don't know if anyone has ever dealt with this, but when I go to pick cards and I'm reading through them and stuff like that, it's always like, you know, I remember when, you know, you used to do this when we were kids or whatever. And I don't have a lot of those memories with my dad, you know what I'm saying? So it's really challenging sometimes to find a card that tells him, because I love him to pieces. Like, I love him and I want to honor him in the best way possible, but I also don't want to lie. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to be like, oh yeah, all these memories and I don't have them. You know what I'm saying? So it's always a challenge, but I always find a way to pull it all together. But I am able to adhere to Ephesians 6:1 and honor him without resentment. You know what I'm saying? Because ultimately there is no contingency clause in that command to obey your parents and honor your father and mother. There is no contingency clause. Like, it doesn't matter if they are there or not, whether they chose to be active or inactive, whatever the case may be. There is no contingency clause. If you read it for yourself, go read Ephesians 6:1. There is no if he's inactive, you don't have to honor. No, it doesn't say that. It says, children, obey your parents, period. Honor your father and mother. Like, it's as simple as that. So, but what I've learned throughout my healing process is that doing just that, honoring and obeying, or whatever the case may be, is not always easy as it seems. It's not, you know, especially if you haven't gotten to the point where you've forgiven your parents, or your father in this instance, you know. But that is the exact reason why God is referred to in the Bible as our Father in heaven. He's our Father. So, it says in Psalm 68:5 that God is a father to the fatherless. I'm going to just read it. A father to the fatherless, a defender of widows. This is God, whose dwelling is holy. So I just thought that was really dope. I'm charging my phone, guys, so don't judge me right now with my hand in the way. If it is, I don't know. But yeah, so it says he is a father to the fatherless. He will be your father when you need. He is the great I am. He will be whatever it is that you need him to be. He is whatever you need him to be. And then we know, according to the definition of a father, which I read twice, that God is just that, because it says in Ephesians 1:5 that God decided in advance to adopt us into his own family by bringing himself through Jesus Christ, by bringing himself to us through Jesus Christ. This is what he wanted to do, and it gave him great pleasure. It gives him pleasure to call us his children. It gives him great pleasure to adopt us as his own. So if that don't say father, daddy, like it literally says in the Bible somewhere, Abba, which is like the Hebrew term for like daddy, you know, and daddy is basically the affectionate term for father. So he is our father. He is our daddy. So this weekend, as we honor fathers, if this is a touchy subject, which I know for some it is, and the memories of your father being inactive in your life still breaks your heart, listen, I feel you. I understand, okay? I get it. But I challenge you to still love him some kind of way. Even if it just means sending a text, a little, I don't know how you pronounce it, but a little GIF, G-I-F, little GIF things on Father's Day. I don't know, but still love on him this weekend. And then acknowledge God as the good father that he has been and always is to us, regardless of your father's activity in your life. And then actively move forward to forgiving your natural father, you know, because again, like I said, it's for you. It's for you. You are not letting him off the hook by forgiving. You are letting yourself off of the hook. I promise you, I will never forget the day that I chose to forgive my dad. And I swear to God, like, the weight that was literally on me lifted. I'm telling you, okay? And I'm not just saying this just to be saying it, okay? And then if you're a father, if you happen to be watching this and you're a father who was not consistent in your child's life, no matter how old they are right now, I challenge you to push past your pride and reach out to them to attempt to mend your relationship. It is always worth it. They will eventually come around. They may not come around right away because it hurts. You know what I'm saying? And they don't want to be burned again, but it's worth it. And they want you. They want your love and your approval, and you know what I'm saying, you to be there. So if you have the opportunity to reach out to children that you've been inconsistent with, do so this weekend. You know, do so this weekend. Admit your wrongdoing, admit your absence, do whatever is necessary, but make the effort, you know. Like I said, you are more than welcome to order a copy of Daddy Issues. It is a great read that will challenge you to target the issue, attack fear, and ultimately get your peace back. It is an awesome read. And I'm not just saying that because I wrote it. But you can get it on my website, which is www.ketaspeace.com, on Amazon, on Nook, and on iBook. It is pretty much available anywhere you can purchase books. And so, yeah, I pray that this has blessed you. I am Nikita Jervey of Kita's Peace, the peace promoter. Follow me on all social media at Kita's Peace. That's KITASPIECE. And come back next week for another Effing Friday message. Thank you. I love you. And until then, have a great Father's Day weekend.